Well, I kind of, to get where I am today, I've kind of like, followed the normal path that any journalist would take, which is, to get a communication degree, not journalism, move to Aspen, ski and mountain bike, for a year, move to DC, work in a presidential campaign and administration, move home, build a biodiesel plant, become an oil and gas lobbyist, and then apply for a job as an editorialist at the Democrat-Gazette.
Very normal trajectory.
That's
exactly what you should do.
It is textbook. It's a textbook route to get where I am right now.
So during college, you summer interned for Governor Clinton. I guess it was Governor Clinton at the time. And then you were also 1 year in Washington with Senator Dale Bumpers. Talk about those years and what you learned.
Well, I was in Washington for that summer, in the summer of '87. So I'm already dating myself, but it was always kind of my plan. Before I left high school, I was going to go to DC after college. I just, when I should have been listening to, economics my senior year in high school, I was sitting back there reading a book called A Hero for Our Time by about John F. Kennedy. So I was bitten pretty early by the kind of the political bug and really kind of the soaring rhetoric of Kennedy and, and some others. And that's kind of what got me moving in the direction of writing, I think. I will say, if we get into any political discussion, I just want to make sure that you know that these are my opinions and not necessarily those of the Democrat-Gazette.
Oh,
so, I do need to say that because, the way it works at the Democrat-Gazette, or really at any newsroom. I'm in the editorial section, and then there's the journalism section, and there's a wall between us. Basically, we don't tell them what to report on, and they don't tell us how to think about what they reported on. So,
nice.
And there are some things that I would say politically, if I had my own column, that I can't say, because basically I'm a big music person, and it's kind of like, we're the studio musicians, where Rex Nelson's of the world and John Brummett and those guys they're the lead guitarists and lead vocalists. We're the guys who don't get, our name, on the album cover.
Yeah.
But we provide a lot of the music
Your
underneath.
backup.
Yeah. So, I certainly have a lot of political opinions, and
they let you write about those, though, don't they?
Well, they do to some degree. Before we go much further, I do want to, I've been to the Democrat-Gazette for about 90 days, so this is new. I've had 60 editorials published, and they range anywhere from 3 or 4 paragraphs to full blown, the whole. The entire.
How long did you say you've been there? 90 days?
90.
And you've written how many?
I had 60 published.
How many have you written?
I don't know, 85, 90.
Every day?
You'd be surprised that when somebody's paying you to write, how much content you can provide. But let me just give you just a smattering of what I've written about: artificial intelligence, Argenta, Standard Lithium, renewable energy, oil and gas, laboratory produced food from woolly mammoths, goat herding in California, election denialism, book banning, mortgage rates, the Little Rock port, river dredging, eagles being killed by windmills, deaths from self-driving cars, federal land leasing, voter ID, congressional redistricting, the fentanyl crisis, killer whales sinking boats in the Strait of Gibraltar, and grammar misuse, and even the death of Gordon Lightfoot. So,
did he die?
They've given me a lot of freedom.
Also,
to find things that the philosophy is kind of, I'm not assigned anything. The philosophy is that if you think it's interesting, then most likely other people will think it's interesting. And I question that philosophy some, because I'm not sure that everything I think is interesting is going to be interesting to everybody else. But I do try to find things that I think most people want to write about. And, I've written a ton about renewable energy to the point where I almost kind of want to stay away from it for a little bit, just because we've published so much on it, and it's great. And I'm all for it. The paper's all for it, but it's at the risk of a little overkill right now. And again, that's my personal opinion.
Well, I remembered when you were listing all the things, subjects you had written about, topics, it was that food, fake meat food, and how they roll it out and then they shape it into looking like real food, but it's not really a meat.
Disgusting.
And then at the very end you went, oh, yum.
Yeah.
If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the picture in the center of the screen. For more of Kerry's interviews, click either video on the right of the screen. And as always, thank you for watching.